Nerd On the Podcast is proudly partnered with Apogee Electronics and Odyssey Headphones, leaders in the field of audio. I jumped out of bed and I was like, pancakes! Who wants pancakes? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Nerd On the Podcast you didn't need, but you deserve, and where all levels of nerd are welcome. Even if you're biscuits slathered in gravy. Starving.
Wow.
I'm always starving when I eat breakfast.
Or it's morning, or it's night,
Yeah.
or it's the middle of the day. There's no wrong time for this episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Exactly. But
Am I right? Thank you.
today,
Especially when you're starving.
just kidding. You demanded it, and now you're getting it. A food episode. Pop the bread into the toaster, bust out your most powerful bowl of cereal, and listen into this episode for Breakfast Are Us. We're talking about brekkie.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, Ollie, that can't be the only fucking theme in your mind.
Forever and always.
Breakfast
At least have
is
the good, like the cool
here.
Captain America part.
I only do it because it bothers you. You understand this, right?
We talking
Yeah, it's called a
breakfast,
troll.
but before we talk breakfast, I am Josh.
And I am Tom.
Caitlin?
I'm Caitlin.
Oh my
Ollie?
God.
I'm Corey.
In this episode,
And this episode.
God.
What happened to the order, y'all?
I thought we were giving the order.
It's gone.
I don't know.
Anyway, this episode is brought to you in part by the members of the Nerd On Nation that is powered by Patreon.
Patreon.
As a member of the Nerd On Nation, you do get fun perks like bonus
they?
episodes, early access to our
Access?
episodes.
They
You
do.
get
Not wrong.
discounts on merch. True. You do get special private servers in our Discord server. It's fun times. Check out that Discord, nerdon.io/Discord. And to join the Nerd On Nation, you can go to nerdon.io/Patreon. Wow, my voice just went nit. Nerdon.io/Patreon.
Soon you'll start thinking
Um,
about marital relations and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Girls
yeah.
start going funny places.
But the nation does help us to grow and be the best that we can be. But also, our partners, Apogee and Odyssey. Apogee has equipped us with the Hype mic. They are wonderful microphones, and I do suggest the use of them. Super easy to use. The sound quality is fantastic. And also,
Superb.
Odyssey headphones. They sound wonderful. They feel wonderful. And I can't speak more highly of them. Do check them out, Odyssey. But yeah, that is the housekeeping. Shall we get on with the meal?
I mean, if you say so.
Let's shout.
Yes.
So this is a completed meal. So we are going to do. No, we're not.
It's a completed meal, so we're going to rate our breakfast
Yes.
again.
That
That
crumpet.
meal.
I rate my
but-
breakfast a 5.
Mine. I would eat out of eat. I would eat it.
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure.
So yeah, this is an RS episode. So we are just going to kind of talk a little bit more about like our personal experiences about it. Also some things that we've like wish and folly and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, maybe, what if, imagine, and share some great food, eat spots
Imagine
that we've been
space
to.
donuts.
Yes.
Mm.
Donuts without the hole in the middle.
No.
Those are just filled donuts.
As long as they're filled.
So first one is, I would say, whether it is to just get nutrients or it's the start of the day, some people have a lot of special traditions and stuff like that. So what is breakfast to all of you and all of us? Like, what does it mean to you? How is it part of your daily
That sounds
ritual?
like
What is that
such a heady question, even
got it.
though
I mean,
it's so simple.
I got this. If we want to just to
Let's
give
do
you
it.
all time
Do
to
it,
think.
do it.
It needs whatever it is. Coffee's first. I actually am one of the few people who drink coffee on an empty stomach,
I do too.
because
Makes
I
you
can't
afraid.
do anything unless I do that first. It's not really true. It's more of like, it's such a comforting thing, and it's such an easy routine for me to tell my body that I'm getting up and I have things to do. And it's like it's like a way to heat the engine up on a cold car. It's just like a nice hot. I can't do cold coffee ever. But a nice like hot cup of coffee, just like a little cream, maybe a little vanilla extract in there, just swirl it around. I'm set.
I'm the same when I order coffee somewhere and they go, do you want hot or cold? I'm like, in my mind, I go, Of course,
heathen.
hot.
I would have said iced coffee if I wanted iced coffee.
That's true. That's true. I was gonna say, I was like, I like cold coffee.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you
Yeah,
say
it's
it.
got
You
its
say
time and place.
coffee.
I'm right there with you in the morning.
For
though.
me, iced coffee doesn't agree with my system. My body goes, we don't do this, and it makes my
Wow.
tummy hurt. So I do because
Wow.
when you ice coffee, it raises the acidity almost twofold, like 2 times, unless you do cold brew, which I can do. But hot coffee is kind of just where I'm at, and I only do about a cup a day. If it's a real rough day, 2 cups. But then anything around that,
Which
I'm
is Monday through Friday when he works with me.
yeah. If I'm at work, it's definitely 2 because I'm lifting shit. I need that extra little boost. But it usually my breakfast consists of some sort of combination of eggs, vegetables, and a starch, usually hash browns. And I've been really into poaching eggs recently.
Oh wow.
How
It's-
do you poach yours?
so I boil water and then I do a little
swirl,
whirlpool and then
the
you
whirlpool?
just drop it in and you have to strain it first. I put it through a strainer to get all the excess water out so you don't get those wispies. And then 3 minutes is about the time. Then take it out, put it on. I like putting it on toast. I put it on avocado toast sometimes. Or another thing I do, which is my favorite breakfast to make, is something that came out of me being lazy. And I used to make like eggs, hash browns, and vegetables, like sauteed. And I'd use up 3 pans, and then I have to clean 3 pans. So I was like, well, fuck this. So I started sauteing. I started putting in the hash browns and vegetables all at once. And I would scramble eggs and just pour that over the whole thing. And so I would get this like hash brown egg
Like a scramble.
combination.
One pan, magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One pan shit I think is the best shit for me typically.
And
Because
then
then you just get so much fond out of it, and then
Yeah.
you're just like
Well,
combining
if you
and
use a
letting them
big enough
mellate.
one, you can kind of section off things at first if you need to, and
not
then
even
want
just
to.
fucking
you
Just
hodgepodge.
a mash.
I'm saying like you can, like with the different.
Oh, for sure.
Recipes.
I don't have
If you
anything that
want to,
big.
yeah.
But my go-to
Walk,
sauce is
baby.
I have to have tapatio on it. And if I'm feeling like I want a little that sweet and savory, I actually toss a little barbecue sauce on top and mix it all in.
Interesting with the barbecue
It's like
sauce.
just
I'll
a
try
country
that.
sauce is
scramble.
Very
It's
good.
really good on eggs. Like, because people ketchup on eggs, but it's such
Yeah.
it doesn't have that. It doesn't
have
go well
not.
with hot sauce very well for me. So the barbecue
sudden
sauce and the hot
realization.
sauce is like this beautiful.
Sweet and spicy.
When you realize you might be missing out on something for your
Yeah.
entire life.
Dude, try it and
I-
shoot me
I-
a text. It's the way to
I
go.
do the
So
mix of
intense.
hot sauce and ketchup a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Because
that's
I'm a
like
huge
that's
barbecue sauce fan.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
that's a Denny's staple for me is mixing the Tabasco wherever hot sauce with ketchup is like so
Tabasco and ketchup.
interesting,
That's your go-to.
that like that to me, like, you know, I quote this from a movie called Warrior. Eating at a diner is like bums eating, and it's like, yeah, you just find bad habits to do. You know, it's just like you just mix all your shit around sometimes and whatever. Anyone else explain their breakfast or what does it mean to you?
I can go. So breakfast. It's interesting. It's a very interesting question. Now, I wanted to clarify it before, but I think it's more fun to not clarify it and just answer.
Quantification.
So I don't. A little fun fact about me, possibly TMI. I can't really eat in the morning. I wake up most of the time with like nausea. It's been that way for years.
Yeah.
And then so I have to get through that, which takes me a couple hours, and because of that, the only thing I can really, it's even hard for me to drink water because of it. But I will wake up and I will make a cup of coffee and I'll nurse that thing for a couple hours, and then I'll have a second cup, and that's basically like how I get to like noontime. Is basically like me now.
that
Or
that
it's
was
always
like
been that way.
that was like my
I've never
image of
really
what
eaten breakfast in the morning. What were we saying, Sorry, I don't know.
No, that's why I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop. But that was
Sorry.
like what my image
You're a
of
little quiet for me.
what parents were to me. I was like, that's like they only eat coffee for breakfast. That's like what I thought.
It
was
feels
what
like
you
it, right?
were.
Like the stereotypical kind of like worker bee who has to like barely sip his coffee before he like heads out the door. Yeah,
Takes like a big swig of it, grabs his briefcase and his newspaper
Yeah.
and his hat. He's like, I'm out.
Exactly. Yeah, that would totally be me.
Chugs the orange juice.
So this question is very important to me because breakfast is one of my favorite foods, though. So that's the big
Agreed.
discerning factor. And so because of that, I eat a lot of my breakfast foods, mostly let's just say after the 10 p.m. mark.
So you're
it's-
a brunch boy.
I'm actually a huge fan of brunch, but a lot of times I'll make dinner or breakfast for dinner. That's usually
Same.
how I do it. And so all the breakfast exploration that I've done have been when I was on keto, because the big go-to for me was
Breakfast
bacon and eggs.
exploration.
Yeah, right.
It sounds like an adventure novel.
Just the different, like, how many ways can I combine bacon, eggs, and cheese because
A
of my
lot.
diet?
So
many
Like,
ways.
a lot. So let's
So
many
go. And,
ways.
and that's honestly what got me through keto was bacon and eggs. Without that, I would not have achieved what I achieved at all. So they hold a big piece in my heart. So breakfast food is just like is comfort food whenever it feels right.
Yeah.
Basically.
I'll go next. So breakfast for me is a very, the phrase, it's your most important meal of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my mom drilled that into my head as a child. For me, breakfast is just the first meal you eat when you wake up, right? And so it's like that, there's a lot of people like, oh, this isn't breakfast time. This is dinner time. It's like, bitch, if I woke up at 7 p.m., it's breakfast now. So, like, I don't care what time of the day it is. Like, if I woke up, it's breakfast time. And so that also kind of solidifies of like breakfast is one of those type of meals you can have at any time. So like dinner, like that's where you have your steak and wine and, all that other stuff. It's like handheld foods is for lunch. And that's how I categorize it in my mind. Breakfast is kind of like, these are what you're going to need for the rest of the day. And that's been very fluid as well because my life has been chaotic, to say the most conservatively. Like waking up, like as a child, like, if you're Thai, then you have kai jiu or kai dao. And that's just different types of fried egg. And you have that over rice and you got a little bit of soy. That's it, right, baby?
What's
and that's it. The
Do you
difference?
mind if I hit the pause button? Yeah. What's the what is that? What's the dish?
So kai
Fluffy.
dao is a fried egg, but the way they cook it. So imagine like Thai people also cook everything on high heat. And they use maybe, let's say, like 2 tablespoons more oil than anyone else does. So kai dao, like you put it in like a wok, right? And then you have the oil kind of like pulled around. It's on a high heat.
So it's kind of like a
when
fried
you crack
egg.
the eggs, you just like splash the oil on top of it. So you never flip it. You never flip it so that
Never
on the
flip it,
side,
baste it.
you pretty
Yeah,
much
I've
have
done
like a crisp skirt around it. And like if it doesn't bubble like properly, then you did it wrong. And like obviously you could have it over easy, over hard, and all that stuff. And then kai jiu is scrambled egg. And so you scramble, I feel like I've seen multiple ways that American style scrambled egg is, where like they crack it and they put it into the hot pan and then they scramble it there. And I've seen it where you put it on the side and then you pour it in. The way that Thai people is, the way that I've grown up doing it, you put a little bit of water, you put a little bit of fish sauce, and then you put a little bit of sugar. And then what you do when the oil starts almost smoke, you toss in some chopped garlic. And then typically you actually put in some greens like
I need you to
leek
whisper this
or-
more. I need this to be more of a low
Get
tone.
right up in that mic
you
and
put in
just
some leek. And then some
you.
places they put like seafood, like crab or oyster. Some people put like sausage and pork. Anyways, so you fry it up,
Sounds
right?
amazing.
And you do the folding technique where you pull it where it starts cooking and then like it pulls over and it just looks like this little weird wrinkly egg thingy. But the way that it actually comes out, since you put the water and you put it on high heat, it fluffs. So it's almost like an egg pancake, but except it's not heavy. So it's like perfectly crisp and all that stuff. Anyways,
I might have made it by accident one time without those ingredients, though. It's like the cooking method.
and Thai people are like, what I found out from learning from my parents, like Thai people are so fucking like obnoxious with like, it must have the proper ingredient. And I'm like, all right, fucking relax. Like some people could do fucking their own little twist on it, right? But I'm like, understand the authentic is great. But like I stopped living with my parents when I was like 14 years old. And after that, like breakfast became like whatever I'm going to get at the store from the school. And so that's when it started becoming like, I started having like, I felt like my college-y times because it got to the point where like I had to wake up at 5 a.m. some days and then take the bus to go to college. Or if I had to wake up at 5 and then to ride my bike to my high school, it'd be like a trail mix bar and then maybe like a cup of noodle or something like that. And then I'd go. But I remember for a whole year and my first year of college, I would have 1 cup of noodle for an entire day. And that was like,
that was my lunch for 2 years was cup noodle for ninth and 10th grade every day because it was like 75 cents or whatever at the thing, or maybe
At the store,
less,
Yeah.
at the school store or whatever. And I even got the nickname Noodles from it.
Wow.
Were either of
Some
you
noodle-
were you the kids that ate the brick,
Yeah.
No, I did that.
So mine. So
the dry brick where you just put the seasoning on top and
People do
that was
Yeah.
like an elementary school like snack. Like
Yeah.
you pack that in and that's your snack. But what I do, I used to like crinkle it up so it became like chips.
Oh.
And it was like you had like the silver bag, which is tom yum goong style, and it's like spicy and sour. So it was like, oh, this is like the sour hot Cheetos. Anyways,
This is gonna
but
be a
for
long
the
episode.
breakfast, for the breakfast stuff, it would be like just cup
So
noodles.
hungry.
But now it's just like I kind of do a little bit of the same thing. I just like throw whatever the fuck I want to put in a pan, and then I put some eggs and I put like a potato or like some rice, and so it's like a little bit of like everything that I've accumulated through my life, and it's like now it's just whatever I feel like is kind of nutritious what I need. And I definitely load up on carbs the like night before, the morning of, so like I'm just energized through the day. But now with everything into it, it's like whatever you can find, baby.
Yeah.
So I actually try to stay away from like cold foods in the morning.
Oh, why?
I just find it not really appealing. I will say like that those years of me eating like shit for like in college, like to Ollie's point, like I think I would have like hella IBS, and like it was just like a bad time. If I had like a drop of milk, I would just like, oh well, my whole day is going to be in the bathroom now, and it sucked.
Whoa.
Like it was weird. Like my stomach just like chemistry changed, and then like I really started making it because it would get to the point. It's like either I eat a cup of noodle in the morning, or I don't eat until like another 8 hours, and then my stomach can handle it. But then after that, I was like, I'm tired of feeling like this is a hindrance. And like being in ROTC, like you wake up at 5, you run a 2 mile, and then you eat food. So it's like either you're gonna deal with it or you're not. And for me, I was like, I'm gonna deal with it. So I started like, first thing I do, I gotta eat. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is, I gotta eat. Like a banana, give me that shit. Like what is it? Like a cup of milk, give me that shit. Like I just made sure I ate, and I went through a physically tough time. But I got through it, and now so I'm like, I'm solid. I was just like, man, I can eat whatever the fuck I need. But like cold foods, just to me has always been like, I don't feel like it's really like breaking down or giving me energy in that way, which is a weird mental thing, I think.
Caitlin?
Kaylin or Josh?
Oh boy. Breakfast is like my favorite thing. So for me, breakfast equals like stability, because every morning before school, my mom would always make breakfast. And it like didn't matter what it was. Like sometimes it was like muffins and eggs or something like that. And sometimes it was like hamburger helper. It was kind of like whatever was going on. If it was a snow day, we got like fancy breakfast. Like my dad would go all out and make like sausage and eggs and biscuits and gravy and like do the whole
like TV
thing.
dinner.
No, none of that. Yeah, and as I got into high school, like my dad got really into cooking, so like sometimes meals would get more elaborate. And then when I got into college, you know, you deal with all your angst and stuff around that time. So then I stopped eating breakfast, and then life got real hairy for a while and very sad and blah. So when my life started kind of getting more together, I got more into making myself like a really good breakfast. So now, like currently, as of right now, I'm on this kick of like making myself these cheese omelets and having like cured meat and fruit and coffee. And that's like what I have every morning. And that's been excellent. But I get real fancy. I'll make like these like cinnamon tea oats with like cranberries and sunflower seeds and like a little peanut butter bomb in the center. Or I'll do like bacon, mushroom, onion, avocado, and do a black pepper oat version with a like soft over easy egg on top of all that. So there's like that the yolk everywhere. But I always have to have a warm
about
drink with
savory
it.
oats.
Savory oats are
get
great. But they have to be, for me, it's like a texture thing. I need a lot of different textures going on.
Mouthfeel.
Mouthfeel, lots of mouthfeel.
Mouthfeel.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
That's the
I
new
have,
name
like,
for this episode, Mouthfeel.
mouthfeel.
Look, it's crazy because I remember a lot of people are like, I'm a texture person. It's like, no, you need certain mouthfeel. Like texture is just texture. It's like mouthfeel, it's like you need to have a certain profile. So it's like when I've heard that like as now the culinary term, I'm like, You gotta fucking say that.
No, that's very accurate. I do have to have I have to have the right mouthfeel, different textures of crunchiness and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like breakfast is like huge to me. Like I know my day is gonna go just fine if I make sure I have breakfast, or at least like a hot drink and some little protein, like a cooked egg or something.
There's a mentality with that where it's like your day start or ends as well as it starts. So if like your breakfast is good, then it'll be just as good when you end it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For me, it's always
Taking notes.
put together at the last minute, baby.
Are you taking notes, Corey?
I'm taking notes on everyone's breakfast. Yes.
Oh,
He's gonna make us
I will
breakfast.
say
Try-
this.
I'm on fucking quarantine. What am I gonna do for the like
I'll
next
say
month?
this.
true.
I was
Try
like,
all different
Caitlin,
foods.
out of this quarantine, you're gonna start looking real. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I gotta get her wifey up to me. She make good breakfast."
I don't know.
Me, if you date me, I'm like, "Hey, I'll find some, baby, but you're gonna
Tom,
be fulfilled."
I'm trying those eggs. Like I do have fish oil and I have soy. Like I'm
Fish-
gonna.
I'm very
fish
curious
sauce.
how those are.
Fish
Oh,
sauce.
never mind.
Fish sauce. It's
have eel
if I can go
sauce.
with
Does
if
that
I can go with the
count?
brand, it's
the same.
it's a glass bottle
love
and
eel
it has like
sauce.
a blue shrimp on it. That's
Okay.
like
Yep.
that's the best
That's
one.
the good one.
And then the best soy sauce is this little. As a kid, I used to call them Fat Boy sauce, but it's healthy mushroom. It's like made out of mushroom.
Oh.
It's
Tell me
my
more.
favorite because it's not super dark and it's not super heavy. It's not super
I'm probably
salty.
gonna go.
It's really light.
I'm gonna get that next time. We do have a whole bottle that I can't just.
I'll
I
just
can't
show up all
justify
these
buying
brands.
another one, but I'm gonna find that fish sauce.
Hashtag
The-
not
That
sponsored.
I don't know if we're gonna go over favorite breakfast, but mine is salmon Benedict.
No,
We'll get there.
Look
I
at
got
the
plenty of
notes.
stuff.
it doesn't say it in the notes.
It says for special occasions and best honorable breakfast restaurants and there's best things.
Oh, that's
There's
the
no
one.
there's no favorite breakfast.
Anyways, fucking Ollie, go on with
Tom,
your
is that
fucking
it?
bullshit.
Can I
No, it's
can
not.
I go?
Damn.
Ollie?
Yes, go ahead.
Am I allowed to go?
No.
Before you go into okay, cool. Ollie.
Yep. Go on, Josh.
So breakfast for me is absolutely my favorite. It has most of my favorite types of food usually land in breakfast. Breakfast for me, I love making it. There's something special about making breakfast, whatever
The
it is.
sizzling or
The sizzling, the making it for somebody. Bonnie.
that somebody
continually-
being you.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
productivity
kidding.
in a way.
Yeah.
Like you're immediately productive, right?
Yeah,
like that's
but
kind
it's-
of
But I mean, I
Just
like
you're doing
cooking anyway,
things.
but for some reason I just
Same.
got really good at breakfast. And I think I harken back to like camping breakfast. Like there's something about camping breakfast that just,
yes.
oh, it's so good. And breakfast is one of those things that like the other night it was like 11 at night and I jumped out of bed and I was like, pancakes! Who wants pancakes?
My wife did that. I wonder if it was
I
the same
love
day.
pancakes.
And we happened to have Bizquick, and I was like, pancakes? Pancakes. We're having pancakes. It's 11 o'clock. I don't give a shit. We're having pancakes.
Question. Quantifying question or an Ollie question. Do you like them thick and small? Do you like them thin and wide? Tell me which kind of pancakes.
Here's the thing that
Sour cream pancakes.
the thing about breakfast
That's what I make.
too, that is kind of the qualifier for me, particularly in my life, is that I am watching what I eat. And not attempting, I have lost
don't make
over
sour
35
cream
minutes.
pancakes.
Yeah,
So
I have lost
one-
35 pounds.
Nice.
But it
So one
comes from,
thick ass long one.
it comes from watching what I eat. And so the things that I really love, I can't really have. So breakfast right now is like, I need to, it's like, it is avocado toast here and there with like
So
low
good.
fat bread.
All of us are
A
out
little
of the
cracked
housing market.
pepper. and,
Yeah. And eggs are free on Weight Watchers. So it's
Yeah.
like
Nice.
Oh,
eggs.
You poach eggs?
Poached eggs. I'm going to have to ask you about the recipe because we've
Dude,
found so many
super easy.
recipes and
Yo,
none of them work.
With the Benedict though, oh,
Super
Mark.
easy. I actually watched Gordon Ramsay's and then practice makes perfect.
Okay.
My first two were shit.
yeah.
they're
But
Bonnie loves
not great at
poached
it.
eggs. So
Yeah.
So
We'll
yeah,
talk.
so sometimes breakfast is like sometimes it is like you get center cut bacon, so it's thinner. It's not as fat as that sexy bacon.
I'm
good.
a big
Yes.
fan of thin and crispy.
Yeah, I like
I'm
I like thin bacon. I mean, bacon. Period. I don't need it to. I don't want it to actually be crispy. I want it like on that edge where it's like it's not still like alive.
I like a
but
jerky
it's-
consistency for my bacon.
Yeah,
Like
Okay.
a
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like a chew to it. a bit,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
thicker piece, so you get
Is-
some actual meat and then like a good chew, like a good bite.
This is going to be a little blasphemous.
we need to address bacon as its own ordeal. I feel
Bacon
like.
or us,
I like mine like a stack of papers. You can like whack it at somebody, but then like if
Yes.
you held it, it
here's-
just is straight.
Here's the thing.
You know
Here's
what
the
I'm
thing. When
saying?
it comes to like breakfast meat, I'm gonna be team sausage.
Yes.
I
Oh,
love
sausage.
bacon is
Sausage
there.
all day.
Sausage is never gonna be Weight Watchers friendly. I have
No.
to look at it from a distance and be like, I love you, but I just can't have you.
100% of the
bacon-
time, if I have the option between bacon and sausage, I'll say,
Yeah.
fuck bacon. Give me
Yeah.
that sausage.
It's
Whoa.
always at Denny's, and it's always, would you want bacon and sausage? Like, I want 4 sausages, hold the bacon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
No,
order
they-
because you
they
get
do the 2
both.
and
And I'm
2.
like, I don't
I'm
want
like,
2.
no.
I
I'm,
want 4
I'm
sausages.
pro patty. I'm anti-link.
I'm
Okay.
all of it.
Whoa.
Oh, baby. Especially on a sandwich.
I'm actually
patty?
more link than patty unless I have 2 pieces
Really?
of bread around it. Like, I just feel weird. I'm like, put it in the bread. And then
You know what it is for me? Is sausage has the spices that bacon
Mhm.
misses.
I do love breakfast sausage, and I currently have an aversion to bacon, unfortunately.
Because you have so much of
Oh,
it.
Keto.
Yeah.
If I
Something
do
to that
bacon
effect.
though, if
Ruined
they're
it.
like we don't have sausage, which happens, my mom and I will order it the same way. We'll say I'll get the bacon extra crispy, and I have to almost do a Ron Swanson sometimes. I'm like, I just want to make sure that you didn't hear. I just want crispy. I want
Yeah.
extra crispy.
Excellent.
I want it
I
to
don't
like
wanna-
crunch when I bite it.
This probably is like cardinal sin to like mention the FP word during a food episode, but I got that with bacon.
The food.
Oh,
food
That's what
poisoning.
gave
No,
me
you
the
could say
aversion.
No, I
Food-
get it.
Food
say.
poisoning.
I get it.
Fun
That's what
poisoning.
gave me the aversion. It was off of bacon.
What the fuck are you doing all
Fun
into our episode?
poisoning.
You were completely going off the rails, saying your favorite one, talking about your worst moments. This is not what the episode was supposed to be.
Hey, this is my episode breakfast. Okay.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, shall we get into favorites? Or what-
Yes.
Yes, we should.
Oh, I just was gonna double check with Josh and make sure that he didn't have more he wanted to tack on.
Oh, I mean,
Well,
it's one of those things that we're going to cover a lot here.
That's a good point.
Breakfast is very important to me, and so I need to
Have
make
y'all
sure
ever
that it gets its due diligence.
Baked bacon though.
But
What?
also,
Have you ever baked
There's a lot
bacon?
of ways.
So you put it
Ooh,
on
probably
you know
comes out
those
better
drying racks that you put
Yeah.
cookies on?
Mm-hmm,
Put it on that so that air comes out underneath it and just bake
Drains
it.
fat.
Yeah.
It drains
Have
the
you-
fat. It's super
Josh,
crispy, super flavorful.
Josh, you should watch a lot of
Try
Epic
it.
Mealtime
Yeah.
because they do
Everything's
these like
bacon.
epic. They do a bacon weave.
I don't
and they make,
want
like,
to
bacon
do
cups,
things that
and
are
they-
bad for me, Tom.
Bake the
Well,
bacon.
that's-
It's
watching
healthier.
that's why you-
watching food things, I'm like,
Healthier, it's bacon.
are you serious? Like,
the fattiest
I
part.
can't
Also-
have that.
So I'm going to say like this.
Surprisingly-
Think of it like video games, right? Video games do not incite violent behavior. Watching the food, just
Bacon
turn
does.
off that part.
No,
Just turn off that
no,
part
I
where you're
can't.
just like,
I'm with Josh on
you
this.
know?
Anytime any food stuff is on late, my wife and I would be like, and we're changing
Because
the
here's the
channel.
thing too, is that I'm also a curious person and I like to cook. So when I watch something, I'm like,
Thank
I
you.
have that. I have
Thank
that.
you.
I have. Fuck, I'm gonna go do this right now.
See, my trick is I would only watch like cooking channels and stuff when I was at the at the gym.
Yeah.
So it's in front of me,
Yes!
and I'm
Makes
like,
you
I'm
run so
running
much better.
so that I can destroy you.
I watched
You,
them.
the thing is, you work out so you can
like
eat
the
like
carrot.
shit.
Exactly.
I
that
greased
is the carrot.
That, Tom, that is the reason I watch it only while I'm eating.
Same.
Yeah.
Well,
A lot.
I mean,
It's
I mean
because
that's
I'm
the
like,
muck.
okay, I'm
that-
eating.
Oh,
I'm
I'll
not-
try that next time.
That's the
But
mukbang
I'm
mentality, right? But like also,
Mm-mm.
I mean, for me, I watch a lot of food stuff regardless if I'm super hungry, if I'm eating, or if I'm like, because I like to just ingest like methodology. Because like there's
so
several
hungry
ways
right
to
now.
debone a chicken.
Ingest.
And then some people say one's better than the other one. But like it's those kind of things where it's like I want to learn different ways. But I will actually I have a bone to pick with Josh because he didn't fucking answer my goddamn question. Well, how does he like his pancakes?
When,
Oh.
when? I'm actually, pancakes are pancakes to me. They're not like, I like them fluffy. I like, actually, there's some pancakes that IHOP does that I really, really like. It's their grain and nut pancakes.
I thought you were saying it's their short stack.
No, it's their grain and nut pancakes. So I really like those, and I haven't been able to like. Sometimes some restaurants you go, you know what? I'm gonna give that to you. I'm gonna stop trying to make it. It's okay with me. But most of the time with food that I have at restaurants, I go, I can make this better.
I can jump on this pancake train. Two things. I mentioned sour cream pancakes. If anyone at home wants to try them, it's a one for one substitute of sour cream for milk. So if it's a cup of milk, it's a cup of sour
my
cream.
Gravy.
And they are the
Lightest
fluffiest, lightest, like dissolve in your
Oh,
mouth,
jeez.
flavorful pancakes ever.
I
Go ahead.
I was like, I've done that with mashed potatoes and milk.
Yeah. However, my favorite kind of pancake, besides like a homemade, like from your mom or something like that, is a buckwheat pancake. So good. It's a little thinner. It's a little healthier. You
Because
okay,
it's
Josh?
a little harsher, I'm assuming.
this is
But it's so hard. It's
That's
like
good.
so hearty and
It's good.
filling. It
Yeah.
doesn't give me that like
That's why it
same
has to be thin.
feeling when I eat like regular pancakes. That nap coma that comes like 30 minutes afterwards because it's carbs
the
and
itis.
sugars.
Yeah,
That doesn't happen with the buckwheat pancake as much, which is really nice. And you could put jam on it because it's kind of a little more savory. It's a nice little instead of
It's a little
syrup.
more bagely, yeah.
Yeah.
I
but
get
anyway, what I
probably the
will
most
say is that
excited.
they're usually smaller. Right now, they're smaller. They're like a quarter cup of whatever the mix is. Like there's even a Weight Watchers recipe that are super good. But yeah, it's just like a quarter cup, so they're smaller. What I want is like that like full plate. And I think like places like IHOP, they totally fuck with your mind. They put these pancakes on a smaller plate, so you're like, man, they're huge. No, they just put it on a small plate, and you're like, how do I cut?
You got to go to the griddle.
yeah.
Apparently the griddle, I haven't been there, but like they're like,
Yes.
they'll give a short stack. It's like, I could do more than 2. It's like, no, but they're like ungodly big. They're like pizza
Oh
size.
yeah.
They're huge.
BBs? Has anyone been
yeah.
to BBs?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, I've heard
Yes.
of it, but I haven't. No,
Get the
wait, no, I
so
have
good.
because it's by my work.
Sunrise.
Ooh,
But Ollie
It's
was
got
going to say
macadamia
something.
nuts, blueberries,
pancakes.
bananas.
Ugh, God,
What's that?
sorry.
You were going to say something before Josh really interrupted you?
Pancakes.
It was something about pancakes. The problem with me and pancakes is I absolutely love them. They're probably the most excited I'll get over somebody giving me a breakfast food is pancakes. But
okay.
I can almost never finish a full like stack of pancakes. Like
That's
just
fine.
I get full and
yeah.
and like it bums me out though. Like
what is
think
a
about it.
stack?
If you,
Like what qualifies and quantifies
mean,
a
a,
stack?
a standard like
Like
serving
an
at a
IHOP
restaurant.
2-stack?
3.
Yeah,
Isn't-
like a
there-
2-stack
there-
at some places that they're bigger, 3-stack when they're a little bit smaller.
Okay.
There's that mentality if like you don't finish the food, then like they know
You're
that
a bad
you've
person.
eaten enough. If you finish
Oh.
it, then it's like, bitch, you want some more or what? You know,
Well, I don't know.
know.
With my family, it was like
I
if
don't
you're a growing
Care
boy,
about
so you have
somebody
to
else's
finish your.
perception. It's my own perception of like I'm bummed out because I don't get to eat the other half.
So
of
you
this
feel like a
pancake.
terrible person because you didn't finish.
No,
the
I'm just bummed
stack
out
of
that I don't get to
pancakes.
have more fun with pancakes. That's literally what
I
want to
ask a question.
I'm sad that
I
I'm
wanna
not
ask
eating pancakes.
a quantifying question here, and y'all just we'll move on after this from pancakes. But I want a list of in order favorite to least favorite pancakes, French toasts, and waffles.
oh, real
French
quick,
toast,
I wanted
pancake,
to add,
waffles.
French toast, pancake, waffles for Josh.
For me, I wanted to add to the little pancake thing. When I've made it, I've added sugar to the mix, so it helps like crisp it up better. Anyways, but
Oh, interesting.
for me, I would say, pancakes is like that girl from
I'm just
season
asking,
1.
just the
Just-
order
just
of
order it. Just
Very
order
difficult
it.
question.
Then
to answer.
pancake,
Just put your order.
waffle, French toast.
pancake, waffle, French toast. Okay.
Yeah.
Josh, you were French toast, pancake, waffle.
Yes.
Okay. Kaylin Ali,
When you get a
Pancake,
really
waffle, French
nice.
toast.
pancake, waffle, French toast. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
High
go.
five, Caitlin.
That was my original answer, but I'm gonna go waffle because like it's really hard to beat like a perfectly
first?
crisp Bavarian waffle with like
Then
Well,
what's
it's easier to
what's
mess
2?
up.
Then
It's
what's
easier
3?
to mess up a waffle.
Stop explaining. Just
a
list
couple
it.
pieces of chicken.
Bitch,
couple pieces of
what's
chicken
what's
on
what's the
there.
order? What's
Let
the
Ali
order?
talk. Let's hear it.
Okay. So to clarification for Tom, it is waffles, pancakes, fresh toast.
Hell
All right.
yeah.
Mine's French toast, waffles, and pancakes.
Nice. Solid.
All right,
Solid,
moving to the
solid
next
answer.
part. So,
Yeah.
Favorites. Because that's
I
where
mean,
Ollie wanted to go.
I got
would
one.
say that.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait. So
I don't wanna go, I'm just pointing out that it's not there.
Because the thing is, my last question is, how would you make your perfect breakfast? So I'm like, I don't know if a favorite.
Okay, fair enough.
That's why I'm like, I don't. Let's. So I'm
Perfect
gonna veto
breakfast?
that shit. We're gonna go into a breakfast tradition for holidays and special occasions.
Oh, okay. Breakfast tradition is my dad for holidays and special
You
occasions.
eat your dad.
Yep. He just
Whoa.
we get a new one every
That's
year.
why I've never met him.
And no, my dad does. So there's two typical things for a holiday or a special occasion that we'll do. One's my dad's, one's my mom's. My dad, who worked in a restaurant for 19 years, so he's got these like recipes from chefs that are just like out of this world. He makes honey mustard ham glazed. So you make your own mix with honey, local. He uses local honey specifically. and Dijon mustard, and you make the ratio till it tastes good, and then you slice the ham kind of thin, and you glaze both sides, and you throw it in a frying pan. So the honey and the mustard cook into the meat
Kinda
directly.
Oh
caramelize.
my god, that
It
sounds
caramelizes,
amazing.
yeah, because the honey will
Oh.
caramelize, and then
Honey.
you just serve it up like that with fruits
amazing.
and whatever else we got. And then my mom's is my grandma's recipe. So on the other side, you got restaurant recipes, then you got those family recipes. This is one of those family recipes.
Authentic shit, baby.
Yeah, that my grandma would call hangover eggs because it was my mom's favorite thing to eat when she would get hungover.
Whoops.
And it's an egg casserole with sausage, mushrooms, bell peppers, and it's got, you pull it out just before and you put cheese on top so it crisps the cheese on top, like cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
And it's just, you get like a thick chunk of this like crispy with this like soft, fluffy mushroom, sausage, bell pepper mix in the middle, and it's just like
Sounds
heaven.
amazing.
Those are our two go-tos for holidays and
Special
special
occasion.
occasions. Yeah.
Wow.
For breakfast.
For me,
In fact, now I gotta make some of that ham. Like today.
special
Yeah.
occasion it's weird because like when my parents were married, like Saturdays was kind of like our family day, and then like we would put on like Jacques Pepin and Julia Childs. But then the thing was like it wasn't really a special occasion. If actually you think about it, it's a really poor person's dish, but it felt very special because it was a Saturday, and typically we never had breakfast all together. And it's a thing called jok, which is just rice porridge. And you fucking
Oatmeal.
you have rice and then you fucking put it in like some broth. And then the way my dad does it, he chops up some ginger and put it in there. And then you add a little bit of soy. And that was always a very like close place to my heart. Like looking back now as an adult, like I'm like, man, those were really the good times. But like now my parents are both like fucking hitting their second run of like, I want to cook this fucking thing I've never cooked before. So it's a little weird because like, both of them have been chefs in restaurants. And so like, fucking, they can cook wherever the fuck they want to. But like my dad currently, like what he'll do like on holidays when I go visit, he'll just like fucking make like a 14-ounce steak for each person. And like that's your breakfast. And you just eat that throughout
Steak
the
and
day
eggs, baby.
while
Steak
you
and
no,
eggs.
he'll do steak and rice, and he'll do like some
Whatever you
some
want.
Asian spicy fishy paste, and like it's fucking delicious and shit like that. Like it's like the best steak I've ever had in my life because he prepares himself and all that stuff, right? And he knows how to make the fucking lines because he has a fucking grill outside. But my mom, she'll do. Oh, you know what she'll do? Well, I mean, the thing is like this is weird. Like she'll prepare this so we can eat this the day she's preparing for when people are coming over. And Corey knows what this is, and she'll prepare a thing called polo, and this is a soup that you have, and there's multiple ways to make it. My dad makes it one way, and my mom makes it another way. But my mom knows that I really, really like it because it's a very big comfort food. So it's a brown soup, and like it takes like at least a full day to make, because the way she makes it, like she fries up the meat, and so they get really tender and juicy. And like you boil the eggs in this soup, and like the eggs will turn brown. Like that's how much like they boil and reduce.
They
And
absorb
she's like, and yeah, she's like, you have to reduce it like 7 times. So like when the water goes down, put boiling water back in, reduce it back down, reduce it back down. It's like all that, like several times throughout the entire day. And she's just like, I know you like it, so here's like 5 fucking giant gallons of like containers full, right? And so she'll like, I'll heat you some up, and like that's what it is. She's like, and my mom, fucking
my mouth's
broken ass
watering
English.
so bad right now.
My mom broken ass English. She was always like, and honey, it tastes better the next day. And she closed her eyes and she's like, the next day. And she does that shit. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I get it. I'm like, I get it, mom. I fucking get it. And every time, all my parents are always just like, listen to my lecture. I need to tell you the good way to eat. I'm like, I get it.
It also
So-
tastes really good after your friend drives it back down from NorCal to LA, and then you get it and you finish it in one night.
Oh no.
Those are the things
fucking
where it's
good.
like my dad just like likes to make steak because I feel like he's a little bit like indoctrinated of like this is what America thinks is as like rich and shit like that. So he'll make that. He's like, and plus he's like, I want to control how good it is. My mom's like, let's just do this shit that like we used to do, and that's like a special occasion thing.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
That's so
Very cool.
sweet.
Kaylin?
Anyone else?
Special occasion. I think I kind of went over it a little bit, but biscuits and gravy and like
Oh, nice.
sausage and eggs and that kind of thing. Or he'll make
Oh.
like fried potatoes as well.
Fried potato,
Latkes?
baby.
I don't know. We've done a lot of things. Super special occasion is the day after Thanksgiving when we make leftover potato cakes,
Oh, okay.
where you put stuffing, turkey, onions, egg, mix it with potatoes, turn it into a cake, put flour on it, fry it in butter,
That's dirty.
and then put cranberry
Special shout out to
sauce on
potato
top.
cakes.
It's a Thanksgiving latke.
It's
What?
so good.
Kaylin, you mentioned before you do you do like a biscuits and gravy, no?
Yeah, that's what she
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Okay, might be
That's like if dad is
I was
awake,
imagining
'cause
that
normally
story
he stays
as
up
you're saying it.
super late.
If we can all agree that breakfast gravy is the best gravy of all.
Yes.
You mean the
100%.
white
yeah,
gravy?
no, it's-
the white black
breakfast
pepper
gravy.
gravy. Okay.
Yeah, sausage gravy.
With the flour and the milk after you make sausage.
Yeah, it's fat and butter
Oh,
and milk
yeah.
and
Yeah.
flour and
Yes.
pepper.
That is my
I-
absolute my biscuits and gravy is my absolute favorite breakfast thing. Period. Like and
So healthy.
and it's so healthy. And honestly, to this day, I have
Your
never
arteries love it.
been to a restaurant that has good biscuits and gravy. So
I got a
Homemade
place
has
for
always
you
been-
here in LA. We're gonna go.
I-
It's a date as soon as this quarantine's over.
okay.
I will say I have to give a special shout out to red eye gravy because I have only seen it and then I finally had it. Then I was like, "Yo,
But it's-
game changer!"
Yeah, it's really. But this you can't. I can't
I'm
ingest
just saying,
as
like,
much of
no-
it as I can. Breakfast.
Well, you
gravy.
could probably drink white gravy, right? But like, like to me, like the way that it's like almost like a glaze, like with the red eye. Like I'm just saying, shout out too. I'm not trying
And
to
if
take
we
it
get
away.
$1,000 a month on Patreon, I'll
We
drink.
will
white
drink it.
gravy.
No,
in
but
2
gravy.
minutes.
biscuits and
White
gravy
gravy.
with
Let's be
chunks
careful
of
with the
Tipped
sausage
words.
into
in
some
it.
strange territory here.
White
folks.
meat sauce. Yes,
It's good.
Yeah.
Ollie.
Yeah, Ali.
Yeah, my a big tradition of ours was, and it wasn't necessarily for special occasions, but it definitely happened more often during special occasions. And it was something that my mom did a lot of, which I loved. Shout out to mom. Hey, mom, I love you. It was her making just like a shit ton of fried eggs in a big pan, like maybe like a dozen. Sometimes when we had special occasions, obviously you have like we would have my aunt and my cousin, and then my uncle would also usually be around. So she'd make a lot of eggs, like just throw the whole carton in there in one pot and just make it all happen. And then she would, in a separate pan, she would make this like, she would take like the smoked sausage kielbasa, like the giant ones, you know, and like cut it up with like onions and mushrooms and kind of caramelize that in like a separate pan.
Josh is having a bad time right
Josh
now.
is in so much pain.
And then we would have our traditional, because we would always have it in the house, like Persian bread that we would take that we buy in these giant sheets and cut them up into little squares so they're like toaster size, and then we would freeze
what's the
them.
difference with Persian bread? Tell me
So
what difference.
there's one that a lot of people, Persians out there would know. Shout out to my Persian brethren. Is
Shout out,
called it's called bad batty. It's kind of like a longer. It's like a giant sheet of a like thinner piece of bread, but it's very fluffy and very kind of crispy on the outside and fluffy in the middle. And we would get these giant sheets. You would cut them up into like basically the size of a piece of toast, so that you could then stack them into little Ziploc bags and freeze them because it's so much bread. And then when you're ready to have one, you would just take a piece, stick it in the toaster, and it's like just out of the bakery.
Nice.
So that would be with our like fried egg like menagerie happening over there, and that would just, and you would take a little, because it's stable, crispy. Take some of that, maybe some butter on there. You could probably put a whole egg on there, and it was just a lot of good times.
I'm gonna have to do so much declicking on this episode. Just everybody just
So that was pretty much, that's pretty much. And then the thing with traditional Persian breakfast is that it's very much like, this is basically what you always see. It's going to be black tea. You know, sometimes maybe with like tarragon in the tea, honey around, sugar around, always feta or some kind of white cheese block, giant block of it there. Radishes and mince, you got to have those on the
just a
side.
block o cheese.
You can't, block cheese, butter, and then a lot of this bread. And that's kind of like that's like what's default at the table for breakfast before the breakfast arrives. So that's like always there. So a lot of good times, a lot of good Persian breakfasts. That basically a Persian breakfast. So that's like,
Man,
Josh,
Can I come
Wow.
next time?
you may, yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were.
I already did.
said
Yes,
next
I
time.
thought the exact same thing. Josh?
I already did.
I had to
oh,
clarify.
I mean, like special occasions that come to mind is like, I mean, I really do think of like camping breakfast. Like that's super special. Like it's,
Yeah.
and camping breakfast is a mess. Like it's like you don't have like, of course you don't have a counter.
Gotta get it all figured out
Yeah,
on
like,
bread,
like
on
you,
the
you
spread. On the
usually
grill.
have like cast iron pans, but that's the best to cook with, like with all that stuff that's together. I mean, but like full on like breakfast is like while camping is a very special occasion because calories don't count while you're camping.
Of course. Well, you
so,
are
I mean,
burning more.
Yeah,
It's Weight Watchers blind spot.
yeah, exactly. They're like, I
There's
I'm in the
like
I don't
forest.
even
They
know what
can't
to
see
do with
me
that.
here.
I didn't
So I
see
mean,
it.
it's everything. Like when it's really a special
The
occasion,
coffee
it's like,
tastes better.
yeah,
The food tastes better.
I sleep
Yeah.
better
We used to
even though
make
I've got a
giant
rock
pots
in
of
my
cobbler.
back. Like I
100%.
sleep better. God, I really need to go camping.
We taste
Um,
better to bugs for some reason.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys
we
can
definitely should go
You and Bonnie
camping.
could camp now. Would be a great time.
yeah.
We need to go camping, and I got to make us some campfire. What is it? I just said it. Cobbler.
And
Oh, yeah,
Corey
hell
won't
yeah.
be there
So
for
another
sure
thing
because
that
that's
you're gonna
just on
say
brand.
you're gonna cook and then never cook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'd be there. But it's camping. I'd always be there for camping.
He
It's
has
a
to be
tou-
there.
It's a tough spot.
But like really special occasions, it's like that full out kind of thing where it's like you just make all the things. You've got
Yeah.
potatoes, you've got eggs, you've got pancakes, you've got biscuits and gravy, you've got all the things. So in case anybody like those big family breakfasts is like, it's basically
Sausage,
a fucking
bacon.
buffet. Like it's like you're just like, what do you want? We have it. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's like it's.
All of your proteins,
And
all of your
everything's tasty.
All the
carbohydrates, all
things.
of your dairy products.
But
like,
you know what? Shout
Because
out
you
to a
can
simple.
take a nap.
Yeah. And shout out to a simple bowl of cereal. Like,
Damn it! I was
Yeah.
going there next. You stole it out of my mouth.
Powerful bowl of
That could be
cereal,
its own
bro.
episode.
I mean,
That
just
should be its own episode. If you want to hear cereals or us, I don't want to brag or anything, but for 2 years in a row, I was the president of the cereal club at Novato High School, Marin School of the Arts.
wow.
sounds like a
more.
brag, but we will
Talk
take it.
about a flex.
I said I don't mean to brag. I am bragging. I just didn't mean to.
But yeah, I mean, shout out to just like a simple bowl of cereal. Like sometimes it's just like that is like the.
And I can go
sometimes
both.
it
I
hits
mean,
a
like
spot.
I like the healthy stuff. I love Honey Bunches of Oats, but I will destroy a bowl of
Reese's.
Fruity Pebbles or Reese's Puffs cereal.
Frosted,
Or
Frosted
Oreos.
Wheaties for me.
Frosted Mini Wheats
fucking granola,
or
man.
Wheaties.
Granola with
Mini
some
Wheats.
milk.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. And there we
Good.
go. I'm also a big fan of Eggo waffles, toaster strudels. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Pop-Tarts.
yes.
all the-
nostalgia.
we're talking about
foods.
like all these like fancy, let's cook it up from. But like, I am not
Pop-Tarts.
opposed to
Yeah,
throwing.
I'm not above
yeah.
a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, it's
I'm not above an
above
Eggo
certain
waffle or a dude toaster strudels.
Yeah.
Oh, toaster
I don't
strudels.
even know where to.
Did
was
you
gonna say,
guys
well,
have those
ham
French
and
toast
cheese?
sticks where you could
Yes.
dip them in
Oh,
cereal?
yeah.
Yeah,
The-
everyone.
the
The
best-
dunks. The dunks.
The best
So
Eggo
good.
waffle, in my
So
opinion,
good.
is the French toast Eggo waffle that comes in the 4 little
Oh, yeah,
toasts.
yeah. Those are the
Oh.
only type of French toast I really
Wait,
like.
what?
Oh
I've never
man,
heard of
Yeah,
this.
those are great.
I need to bring up something.
Yeah.
It's very important to me.
Dramatic turn.
Yes.
It's a lifestyle change
Okay.
that we need to discuss.
Yeah,
Okay.
And that is the
Wow.
breakfast burrito.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
I make those here quite a bit, especially in quarantine.
Yes.
Oh
There
my
is a
God.
place
Don't-
locally called
efficient.
Lucky Boy. Their sausage
Lucky.
breakfast burrito.
Let
Can I
me-
give it? Can I
let-
give a little tip? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was like, let me. Okay, so breakfast burritos have always been for me like, cool, you can have it. That's fine. Like, like if I went fast food and I had like wherever the hell they had like breakfast burrito was like kind of the last thing on my mind. That's what I thought of breakfast burrito. And then
You
I
were
moved to
wrong.
LA. And I moved to LA. I worked on the first film I ever worked on, street level. Shout out De La Brava, right? Director. And then we had a catering company called Spartan Catering. And a dude named Abel, shout out, gangsta ass dude, like maybe like a 5'7" Mexican dude. Love this man. Breakfast burritos every day of production. And the thing is, he would say this: you can have the Spartan burrito, you can have this, or choose your own toppings. And he would make that shit the way you wanted to make it. And you just be like, I want all the meat, all the eggs, all the cheese, fuck the vegetables. And then like,
So
if
you
you
want
wanted to,
death
just
in
be
a
like,
tortilla?
Have the veggies.
Got
and
you,
so
man.
like if you were like if you wanted to be like, all right, fine, give me some potatoes. That's a vegetable, right? like you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like it was the like for 15 days, it was like the only thing holding us all together was like these
Oh,
burritos in the
no.
morning. Cause it was like it was a working meal. You get there at 5 a.m., you're a PA, you're the first ones there, you gotta unload, and then that truck shows up, you're like, bitch, we better be the first in line because we ain't gonna get
Actually-
get it. So it's like,
Yeah.
when I was in college, my first year of college, there is a reason why I put on weight because the cafeteria at the college that I went to, for some reason, had some of the best breakfast burritos I've had to this day. There are some good
Yeah.
ones that I've had, but the college one, I think back, I'm like, damn, that was a really good breakfast burrito. But nowadays, Lucky Boy is a local place in LA that just has some really good. There's
They're
one
pretty
in
lucky.
Pasadena. Actually, it's very close to you, Ollie. Look it up,
Yeah.
Lucky Boy. Their
Lucky
sausage
Boy.
breakfast burrito. If you're
Ollie's
feeling
the Lucky
really
Boy.
sexy, get some avocado on
Am I
it.
the lucky boy?
He's the one who wins.
Yeah.
Pro tip
Wow.
for making your breakfast burritos at home. Once you get everything wrapped in that bad boy, got it all rolled up, Chipotle style, get a dry pan on medium heat and lay it down on the crease and keep an eye on it because it's going to start to toast, and then flip it over and grill the back as well. It'll seal the burrito perfectly closed, and you'll get that like nice little like restaurant quality, little like toasty brownness on the top as well. It's and crispiness.
To me, that
It's-
becomes like the way I do it. It kind of becomes like how you get. This sounds really bad though. It looks like those burritos you get from Taco Bell
Bell?
because they put it in
Yeah.
a little press
Yeah.
and you get the like perfect fucking
Yeah.
symmetry on. I'm like, damn.
Panini.
yeah.
Oh,
What
they're
does
super
everybody
close.
feel about like?
It's only 2 miles away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is?
what
I
was
don't
gonna-
know if we did a Food R Us episode, but did we ever talk about like presentation? Like, I'm big on presentation, like how it looks on the.
Same.
Depends on
the
how I'm
plate.
feeling that
Like,
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Because I'm
actually
also
a big.
throw it in the fucking bowl and I'm gonna eat all of it.
Yeah,
kinda guy.
I'm a big bowl person because I feel like breakfast is a little. It's kind of messy, It's like unless you're like you just did the deed and you'll be like, hey yo, let me show you what I could do, baby, and then you clean it up, you make it look nice.
Why does it have to be that?
For
Why
me-
can't you just be like, if you're trying to be nice?
I'm right there
well,
with you,
it doesn't.
Josh.
It doesn't matter. It's like for me, you and me, like doing the do is playing video games till like the dawn, morning, and then I'm trying to make it look good for you. I'm like, hey, you were guest. Let me make it look good for you. And then
I don't know if you were.
Well done.
and so
I don't know
like,
if you
hey,
were. I don't know if you were suggesting your opinion on the matter by bringing up the topic, Josh. But I am very much in the house of you can, because of my favorite breakfast. That can play a huge part.
Sure.
At least when I try to make it myself.
When I
'Cause,
make
you
it
know,
for other
I'm always
people, I'm
after
like,
that.
listen, your plate's I'm gonna make this look almost like restaurant, like it's presentation. Like, here are your eggs, here is your toast, here's this thing, and it's this nice section. I don't care what the fuck you do with it, but because it ends up being a mess. You got the yolk
yeah.
everywhere.
In
and you're
2
like,
seconds, it's over. Yeah.
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 It depends. Like I was gonna say, it depends on how. Like if it's especially with breakfast food, like Tom was saying, if it's like eggs and hash browns and sausage, I just like do this to my plate anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, get
And like
everything
mix
in
it
there,
all
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm making it for someone else, I'll try to make it like, oh, this the poached
Yeah.
eggs on the avocado toast, a little cracked pepper and parmesan. Like I got this
That's
going
the thing.
on.
It's like
man.
mine is salmon Benedict. So because of that, it's like you've got to have the perfect English muffin.
Shut your mouth.
You've got to have the perfect piece of like the salmon has to look really appetizing, right? Got capers in there if you got that
Well,
going on.
because like
Hollandaise,
when you're
they gotta
dealing with
look right.
fish, like you
are,
gotta
are
be
we
very
going to the
careful.
last subject again?
No, this is nothing to do with the restaurant. This is me at home.
What's the
No,
last
not
subject?
That's
the
what I-
last subject, not
What's the
the
last
next
subject?
one. Is the best thing.
Oh well, let's do it.
Well, let's do it at the end. I was like, I want to end us on that point, but like getting to
It's been
restaurants.
like an hour.
just to
It's the
go
end.
over-
Let's do this thing.
Oh
I
shit!
can't talk about food anymore. I can't take it.
Well, I was gonna say like let's mention some breakfast restaurants that we've been to, and Corey, you had some for Josh that you were going to mention. I was like, that's that stuff, and I was like, let's share the
Okay.
worst
We can
experiences.
circle
But I was
back.
like, never mind then.
Oh
Can
yeah.
we-
Well,
I want
for only
Ali
our
to
LA
speak
visitors,
because he
here's-
keeps like, Ali, tell
Yeah.
us
That's all
I'd say.
about your Benedict.
No, I was just pointing out how to answer your question. To me, that's why presentation matters. Is because like to me, a perfectly presented like salmon Benedict,
Yeah.
goes a long
It-
way
it
as
comes
opposed to
with
just throwing
territory.
salmon on the plate.
Yeah.
Right.
it's
And
the
then to
three.
your point, in 2 seconds, you're breaking open that egg, and it's game over. But
Oh,
like
yeah.
for those precious few minutes, you can be like
It's part of the trifecta. Like
try to
Gordon
be
Ramsay talks
careful
about.
with
It's
it.
presentation, taste, and mouthfeel. So all three
Yeah.
go together very importantly.
Yeah,
Unless
And
you're an
in
Iron
the
Chef,
case of
and it's
a-
how you use the ingredient.
in the case of
Unless you're on a
salmon
game show,
Benedict
yes.
or any Benedict dish, the stacking makes a difference because you've got the hollandaise, and then when you crack the yolk, it all kind of works together and it seeps down.
Did you call it a Benedish?
No, but I might start.
Yeah. I thought you did.
So-
Like, especially with the Benedish. And I was like, oh, damn, that's great. Eggs Benedish.
All right, so we're wrapping up. We're going to do a real quick shout out to some restaurants. Even though at the time of this recording, it may not be easy to go to, but some things that have stuck in our minds and definitely places we're going to like really want to go to after this is all over. And then we'll go to the last update and we'll be done. But shout out any breakfast restaurants or places where we had breakfasts. Anyone wants to go first or breakfasts?
I know.
Go ahead.
BB's is my
that
choice
BB's in
all
Burbank?
day, every day. They have so many good omelets.
There's 2 of them.
Oh.
There's like the pancake choices, like Thai tea pancakes, green tea pancakes with a green tea mascarpone on top. Like they go hard on
They
breakfast.
also have
and
a
it's
stuffed French toast where they make a thick French toast, scoop out the
Oh.
insides, and fill it with peanut butter.
yes.
Wow.
There's so many good things at BB's. It's crazy, and their coffee is good. Like
Yeah. Their house latte, highly recommend it.
yes,
And the Pooh's Sunrise, I think it's called, which is
yes.
it's 2 pancakes with coconuts, macadamias, and blueberries and bananas.
It's so good. It's all so good. Oh, you can't go wrong. BB's. BB's is my shout out.
For me, I'm going to do 2 and make them real quick. One is in San Jose. It's called Kim Ta. It's spelled Kim, like the name Kim, space T-A-R, tar, but Kim Ta. That is where I had a lot of Chinese donuts. And Chinese donuts are these long, deep
Donuts.
fried, thin, fluffy, like bread pieces. There's no sugar or
so
anything like
good.
that shit. But you
Perfect.
dip that shit into some condensed milk. Oh, baby.
Oh
I'm
my
telling
God.
you. You dip that into the condensed milk. It's so good. And then the
That sounds
second
so
one,
good.
the second
No sugar,
one
but you
is
dip it in sugar.
you dip it in
Yeah.
sugar. And then the second one is going to be a spot in Sacramento. I think it's closed down, sadly, but it was a spot that's really near and dear to my heart. Is Evans, and my friend, shout out to Gabe. He's the one that really introduced me to it. And it was like the spot to go when you're a college kid to have like brunch and breakfast because it was family, mom and pop enough where it's like you can bring your family and like feel fine. But if you were a college kid and you wanted to just get bottomless mimosas, you could. So for like $13, you can get filled with like a full course meal and well, like not full course meal, but it's like you get the steak and pancakes and you had like eggs and stuff like that. And then you had bottomless mimosas. And I was like,
Part of this complete breakfast.
bruh, this place was like off the chain, baby. I was like, oh my God. Like, woo. That was a spot. Those are
Wow.
the spots for me.
Oh.
Next.
For me,
yeah.
I want to give a shout out to a place that I found recently, and it has been visiting my buddy Dennis. Shout out up in Paso Robles. A little bit beyond that is Templeton, or south of that is Templeton. It's a really quaint little spot called Kitchenette, and they have a pretty eclectic menu. They have like Korean stuff in there. I've seen there's French, there's like Indian sometimes, but they have a pretty amazing eggs Benedict over there that I had, which I was very fond of when I had there. And they have a little barista area, so I got a little cappuccino with that, the fresh squeezed orange juice because you gotta, and just the whole area is so clean and fresh and warm and
Bougie.
inviting, at least when we've gone, and it's been a blast, and I miss it, and I want to go back again for a third time to Kitchenette when I go back again.
Nice.
There you go. Josh?
The places that come to mind for me are their local spots here in LA. There's a place in kind of downtown Glendale called Foxy's. They have they have
Messy.
corned beef hash Benedict. So
Corned
We didn't
beef.
talk about corned beef.
They also have a
in
cordon
roast
bleu
breakfast.
eggs Benedict.
good. Yeah, they have a very interesting menu. Their Mexican food. They actually they don't cater, but we went and requested if they would make a special thing for us, and they catered our wedding party
Nice.
because their Mexican food is
Wow.
really really good.
You in Mexican
And then
food,
there's a place up in La Cañada called the Hill Street Cafe. It's like a diner type thing.
baby?
And their breakfast is, I mean, their omelets are massive, but they do this chili cheese omelet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's making
Chili
me die
cheese,
right now.
baby.
It's so good, but it comes with so much. Like, you know, like it's one of those restaurants that's like when you order, you are
Mhm.
getting
You're invested.
meals. You're getting
Right.
like things that you can eat for days. Like the omelet is
yeah.
the full plate. You've got potatoes. Like, oh, did you know that it comes with pancakes and it comes with biscuits and gravy on the side? If you
Oh my!
you know, but it's so good. It's just, oh my god, it's so good.
One
And
of the
their
most
huevos
underrated
rancheros is so
breakfasts.
good. Oh,
Huevos
Oh.
rancheros. I haven't had that in a while. But I was gonna say one of my favorite underrated breakfast is like corned beef hash with like a fried egg on top.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds simple, but just like you break that yolk and it gets in there with the corned beef
Yolk.
hash.
Yolk.
That yolk.
Yuck.
Corey?
Yeah, it's a little hometown spot in NorCal in a little town called Nevada, where I'm from. It's called Mary's. It's a breakfast joint. Has the best waffles I've ever had. Best pancakes. Like, all their breakfast food is absolutely phenomenal. A little family business up there. And then the other place is, which I can't believe I didn't give a shout out to yet on this episode, Bagels. Probably a perfect food. There's
Noah's?
No, fuck Noah's. And here's the thing. I say this with a lot of love because I lived in New York for 2 years where apparently the best bagels are. I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but they're all wrong. There's a place in Novato called Redwood Bagels, and they make the best bagels I have ever had in my entire life. In
All
fact,
these bagels?
Damn.
I buy, every time I drive home, I come back and I buy a dozen of their Asiago bagels to bring home.
Oh my gosh!
And the way they make them, I don't like Noah's bagels. They're very fluffy and they're New York style, and every bagel in New York tastes very plasticky to me on the outside. Like, have you ever gotten a pretzel that you eat and you're like, that's a weird aftertaste? The way they make their Asiago bagels is they're thin. So when you toast it, the cheese and the bread get crispy, and it makes the perfect breakfast sandwich bagel. So Redwood Bagels. In fact, I have their T-shirt that I wear.
Wow.
It's the best bagels in the world. I will praise them up and down. Please check them out if you're in the Bay Area.
nice.
That's awesome.
So
Caitlin?
now, Caitlin went.
I already went.
Yeah, she said BBs.
Yeah, she did.
BBs.
But thanks for listening.
Active listening
I
skills,
listen.
baby.
This is the first one. It was a year ago.
Yeah, right. So now let's unleash the hounds. This last subject, if no money, no place, no schedules, all that shit was out the window, you could just make the perfect breakfast for you, what would it be?
My dad's honey mustard ham, my mom's hangover eggs, and a bagel from Redwood Bagels.
In one sandwich.
No, separate
Okay.
things. And then, if I'm feeling spicy, I'll get some French toast from Mary's.
For me, my
All the
favorite
things I
thing is to cook breakfast for friends. I would love to just have
Hi, friend.
you guys bring the wives, bring whatever, bring people, and just make it all.
Now?
Just like pancakes, French toast, biscuits and gravy.
You should make hash browns with death cheese.
oh god. Hash browns.
That's a lot.
You want, like, it doesn't have to be hash
Death
browns.
eggs.
We can get those potatoes, cut them up. We can do it all. Like, I just like that.
You would make
kind
a
of
Vegas
scenario.
buffet.
I'd make a buffet, but it's like,
Yeah.
I dig that style of like what you want. There's some bacon over there. There's some sausage over there. Yeah, it's
Mountains of bacon.
Yeah, I love that scenario of just everybody just get what you want and let's do it. Let's
dig it.
Family
destroy this.
Way to make my answer seem real selfish.
It is. Ollie, now let's hear your Benedict, baby. Let's hear this. Tease.
You start-
No, it's different.
You start with the perfect English muffin. You got to make it yourself. It's got to be made in house. Got to be fresh. You still got to toast it because it needs a little bit of that crispy edge on the inside to
In
make
the
the
inside.
perfect bed.
On the inside, yes.
On the inside, yes. So even after you slice it, even though it's fresh, you got to toast a little bit. Then you take I want to say you take your salmon next. No, you take the eggs next. What's the order? I gotta look at the picture.
You could
I think
just
it's
tell
salmon
me what
next.
it is, not tell me how to make
It's
it.
salmon. Okay, fine. Salmon, homemade hollandaise, capers. I like a little bit of lemons in the hollandaise, so that's enough lemon. A little extra lemon in the hollandaise, and then the perfectly poached egg, which I have yet to achieve. I will admit that. I'm not.
Let's get on a Zoom call and we'll go through
We
it.
will figure this out together. But no, I still make it well enough to go on there. So I would master that art, and then I would make the perfect poached egg that would go on there. And you got two of those. You got a ×2 on that. Let's try that. And
Kaylin?
then you got a ×2
Never
on.
mind.
I knocked my mic, so I don't know if I should do it again.
I'll find out in the edit.
There we go.
Yeah.
Do it one more time now since we called attention to it.
And yeah, I forgot what I said.
Times 2 on that.
And times 2 on that. So yeah,
There you have it.
Nice.
So you're gonna be making
Um,
for that for us soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You're not going to be
Make
there,
sure not
Corey.
to be there.
You're not going to
Yeah.
be there.
Corey can't be there,
Caitlin?
or he won't make it. I am also of the buffet style mind. I like to have all the options. Also, special shout out to cinnamon rolls and monkey bread.
Oh, cinnamon rolls.
Jesus criminy. Oh, Josh.
Like straight up, just Pillsbury cinnamon rolls are fantastic.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
really good. Any type of sweet, any type of like sweet, sugary, cinnamony bread with
Cinnamon
like,
toast, just straight up with honey.
No, that's
That's-
different to me. That's
Not for me.
a different
That's sugary,
experience.
sweety cinnamon is what
It's
you
because
said.
it's got the egg on the outside. That's what.
No,
doesn't
not
sit right
French
with me.
toast. Cinnamon toast.
Oh, cinnamon toast.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, you
I can be
toast
I like
butter.
the cereal.
It's butter. It's cinnamon sugar, and if you want to be fancy, you put honey down first, and then you put the cinnamon sugar on top of that.
That's a good
And
point.
that's where
That's
it's
a good
at.
point. I can see it. But yeah, full buffet style. That's
Full
it for
buffet
me.
style. I kind of almost want to go full buffet style, but honestly, if I'm going to be a little selfish about it, and this is something I have not mentioned yet, but I made it when I was younger, when I was like 12. My dad took me to Thailand, but we made a stop in San Francisco, and we went to eat breakfast at this Chinese restaurant, and what we had for breakfast was Peking duck. And so for
Oh
me,
my
it would be
God.
Peking duck. I'm like, you
Yes.
know what? That would probably be my favorite.
actually be
best
great.
You've
breakfast.
heard of breakfast for dinner?
Now
Like
you
dinner
dinner
for
for
breakfast.
breakfast.
That would make a
Plot
fantastic
twist, baby.
That would make a fantastic savory oatmeal or rice porridge. I feel.
Oh yeah.
Like little piece of like the crispy
Duck
kind of
skin?
yeah.
What
Could
I
be.
just
I never-
realized
I
That's
is
your
never
that
thought
mouthfeel
about it.
for you.
There's
I
a
just-
Chinese restaurant in San Gabriel. I think it's Hoki Cafe. They do rice porridge with Peking duck.
Oh,
It's
Usually the 99
real
cent, like
good.
not 99 cent, the 99 ranch market has like Peking duck like hanging.
thank you for
Josh.
saying it correctly.
Josh,
Oh, did I mess up?
Well,
Sorry.
no, what I was going to say is because my imagination, I limited myself because I realized that because this thing is so hard to come by, like the things that are a part of it, like a full English or a full Irish breakfast, like those
Yeah.
are ingredients that you can only get there. Like the type of
Yeah,
bacon
no
they
money,
have.
no place bearing.
I
just
didn't even
perf-
realize that, like that. Oh,
I'm
that
Tom
is
Hardy
so
from
good.
Inception,
All day.
baby.
we could just.
For me,
You
this
mustn't
has
be
been
afraid
the
to dream bigger.
longest. This has been the longest episode we've ever recorded, and I hate it. This has
Yeah.
been hell. It feels like someone has dragged my stomach through gravel for 2 hours.
and then took
Oh,
a cheese
no.
grater to it.
I just want to eat all these things. This
And
is
put some
torture.
holidays on top.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
We're gonna go eat
uh,
snacks after this.
Now we're gonna go take a 5-hour break and eat. But Josh, sing us out, baby.
Ah, there's so many good things.
So much Josh pain
So
in this
hungry.
episode.
Well, because
I
I
wanna
forget
end
muffins, like even just
Josh.
muffins.
End it.
Corey's like, I have
kill
to
it.
go
End it.
eat something
Kill the
right
past.
now.
Adam
Everybody
Driver.
at home, thank you,
You know the
so
drill.
much.
As always.
Everybody at home, thank you so much for joining us for this Jewel Fest. Reach out to us. Let us know your favorite breakfast spots, your
Tell
favorite
us in
breakfast.
detail. Whisper it. ASMR.
Yes. Record
Stop
that.
interrupting
send it to
him.
us.
Jesus.
Send it. You can also reach out to us via Discord. There is a food channel on that server. Come on,
yeah.
bring the food porn.
all about
We're
breakfast.
ready for it. But yeah, if you're new to Nerd On, check out our website, nerdon.tv. It has all the episodes, all the things that we do, all the videos, all the things. Stop by, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Rate and review us. Do consider joining the Nerd On Nation. It does allow us to keep growing and to keep being the best that we can be. But yeah, that's it. I hope you
My
are
God.
hungry. You know the drill. As always, Nerd On.
Ending broadcast.